to teaching and preaching that's going to enrich somebody's soul. Because my soul is not just not settling and satisfied with temporary physical food. But when I'm in when I'm experiencing trouble within my soul, God has a way of satisfying me that when I get out of whack and I get off track and my spirit is uneasy, God has a way of filling me up with peace and joy and satisfaction. Is there anybody here ever had God fill your soul? Yeah. Old folk used to say, bread of heaven, feed me. Y'all know that, don't? Till I won't no more. Is there anybody here know that he will feed you till you won't no more? David said, when he feed me, my cup runs over. My soul. He says, and as a result of you satisfying my soul, then look what he says. He said, verse 4, thus will I bless thee while I live. He said, I will lift up my hands in your name. Let me, now listen. I know you suave and sophisticated, and you then arrived, and you intellectually astute, and you got degrees on the wall, and you all that. I understand. I applaud all of your achievements. But when you know that it ain't been nobody but God that made you who you are, you ain't got no right, no rhyme, no reason to sit there on your rusty, dusty, and not lift your hand. But if God has done anything for you, you ought to lift your hand. You ought to open your mouth and give him praise tonight, because it ain't been nobody but. Look at your neighbor, tell him it ain't been nobody but God. Now school him real quick and tell him he been too good to me for me to sit there with my arms folded and with my mouth shut. But when I think of the goodness of Jesus and all he done for me, I got to open my mouth. I got to lift my hand and tell him thank you. Yeah. Satisfied me. Been too good to me. Been too good to me. But then been too good to me. Pastor, this is going in territory right here. But I got some more. He said, not only does he satisfy me, but he said, because he satisfies me, I can sleep at night. It's in verse 6. Watch this. When I remember you upon my bed and meditate on thee in the night watches. He said that after I've gone through what I've gone through all day long, I ain't got to worry about what went wrong throughout the course of my day. But before I go to bed at night, I start thinking that the only reason I made it through the day is because you've been watching over me all day long. Is there anybody here know that you can sleep good tonight because his eye had been on the sparrow and he been watching over? You ain't got to take all that stuff to get a good night's sleep. You ain't got to take all of that medicine and all of them pain prescriptions and all that to get a good night's sleep. No, I got the remedy for all that. All you got to do is just think about how good God has been. And you know that no matter what's going on, you know that he got it all. Yeah. He said, he said, when I meditate on you in the night watches, that I got to hang the phone up. I got to turn the cell phone off. I got to tune out everything and everybody. And before I go to bed, I got to put my mind on me. I'm done. But there's one more thing. He said, I'm satisfied. You fill my soul. But then because I can sleep, then I know I'm under the shadow of your wing. He said, it's in this text. He said in verse 7, therefore, because I can sleep, I sleep good because I'm under the shadow of your wing. He said, I can't do without him because he gives me all around protection. That as I travel throughout the day, as I go about my journey, anybody here know that the shadow of God is abiding all over. I can do without. Matter of fact, not some people. Let me keep it real. I can do without a whole lot of folk. Don't look at me crazy. You can too. Come on. It's some folk in your life that if you really think about it, you can do without them. Come on. Is there anybody up in here tonight gonna keep it real? That you got your own list that if I gave you the mic tonight, you come up with a whole lot of folk that you can do without. But when you think about that all God is, how he watches over you, how he keeps you, how he provides for you, you just can't do without the. Come on, look at your neighbor, tell him, I can't do without him. I can't do without him. I think I proved my case tonight. Is there anybody here can't do without the Lord? Can't do without the Lord? A few years ago, I'm going to my seat now. A few years ago, your pastor introduced me to a friend of his, a brother by the name of Andy. Can I tell you who Andy is? And he walks with me. And he talks with me, and he tells me that I am his own. Ain't he all right? Do you know him? Have you tried him? Won't he walk with you? Won't he hold your hand? Won't he guide your feet? Have you tried him? Say yeah. Say yeah. Look at your neighbor one last time and say, neighbor, I sure do know the man, and the man is all right.